Hey, I'm just clearing my mouth of my trail mix here. Mr. Middledorf, splendid job. Mighty Middledorf job. Now, everybody stop what you're doing. What are the first 6 words of the first 3 questions? What is it, everybody? What's the general equation of a line? Y equals mx plus b. Now, as I looked at your papers, lots of people got number 1 right and number 2 right. In fact, I think virtually every person in the room got numbers 1 and 2 right. Did anybody get number 1 wrong? Anybody get number 2 wrong? Okay, let's scroll up to number 3. Now, what were the first 6 words in number 3? Write the equation of a line. Can everybody look at your quiz answer to number 3 right now? Take a look at your quiz answer to number 3. Is your answer in the form of y equals mx plus b? Is it in the form of an equation of a line? Because a lot of people didn't do that. Okay? A lot of people instead wrote slope kinda and drew pictures, but a lot of people did not actually put their answer in the form of an equation of a line. So let's go through this now and go with the importance of this. Guys, listen, this is a really important thing that we understand what to do. I used to have a job working in Fire Island at a butcher shop, and the boss of the job, his name was Pete Candrava, and his son was a guy named Eddie Candrava. Now Pete, he was the boss of bosses. He owned the place. And then Eddie was his son, but Pete would often leave the shop for a while, and Eddie would be left in charge. So Pete would tell me one thing to do. And then as soon as he left, what do you think happened next? Eddie'd tell me something to do. And Pete would come back and go, Bob, I told you to do this. So what would I do? What would you do? You'd do what Pete told you, right? But then Pete would leave, and Eddie would walk by, and what do you think Eddie would say? What are you doing that for? I told you to do this. And then Eddie would leave, and Pete would walk by. And what do you think Pete would say? What are you doing that for? I told you to do this. So finally I looked at them and I said, guys, what do you want me to do? You both want me to do something different at the same time. I can't do that. I don't know what to do. The first 6 words of number 3 tell you what to do. What do those first 6 words say? Write the equation of a line. Gabby, you with me here? Write the equation of a line. Gabby, when you read those words, write the equation of a line. What always pops into your head?
Y equals mx plus b.
Nicely done, Gab. Making yourself proud. Good work. Y equals mx plus b. Now, everybody, what does m stand for? Slope. What does b stand for? Y-intercept. When you're given those 2 coordinates, do you know the slope or the y-intercept? No. So what do you have to do? Got to figure them out. How are you going to figure them out? Are you going to stare at your paper and go, oh, I don't know the slope and the y-intercept, oh. Is that what you're going to do? No. Cheyenne, how did you go about figuring it out?
I
Graph the points. Good. Now, Gabby, did you graph the points? Nice. I don't know how accurately you graphed them, but you did try to graph them. That's a really good thing. Now, let's do a brief review about how to graph points. When I see a point, any point on the coordinate axis, it's always xy. Okay? Now remember that this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. And remember, I don't bother to write it because I don't have all day here, but you can draw a 5 in each direction if it helps you. Now, you're really supposed to know this from last year, but sometimes it pays to review. I want to put the second point down first because it's a little easier. Let's find the point, 4, -2. If I want to find the point 4, -2, if I want to find that point, remember it's xy, it means the x is 4 find that point on the graph. So, if I wanna find 4, -2, here's where all the x's are 4. Remember, this is the x-axis? Here's where all the x's are 4. Everywhere up and down this line, the x is 4. Here's the y-axis. Here's where the y is -2. Everywhere across this line, the y is -2. Now, where they cross, where they intersect, if you will, that is where the point goes on the graph. So that's where 4, -2 is, okay? Make sure you have that down on your paper. Now, next up, 3, 0. That means the x is 3 and the y is 0. So, I'm going to do the same thing I did before, and I'm going to look for where the x is 3. Here's where my x is 3. Now here's where my y is 0. See, 0, right here, 0. So here's where 3 and 0 are. There's the point 3, 0. Okay? Now, those are the 2 points that they asked me to graph. And I want to deal with the line that runs through those 2 points. Now, to make the line a little longer, I'm going to follow the slope. Slope is rate of change, right? So, I'm going to go 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, over here, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now I'm going to connect the dots. There they are. Okay. Now, let's go back to what I need whenever I write the equation of a line. The equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. Agree? That's what it says all over your paper. You guys knew to do that on questions 1 and questions 2. The slope is the number or the rate of change. What is the slope of this line going from the red point to the blue point here? What's that rate of change? What's my slope? First of all, is it positive or negative? Negative, because it's going down. And it's going what? Down how many over how many? Down 2 over 1. So I get y equals -2x. You could put over 1 if you want. You don't need to, but you could. If it was over 3, you would need to, right? Now, how can you find the y-intercept, b, by looking at the graph? How can you find the y-intercept? There's a way to do it. You can just see it. You don't even have to figure it out. How do you find the y-intercept? I know some of you know because 3 of you got it right. Okay.
It's where the line touches the y-intercept.
That's right, where it could touch the y-axis. Here's your y-intercept, guys. Right here. Because that's where it touches the y-axis. What's the value on the y-axis where the line crosses the y-axis? Everybody? 6. So it's y equals -2x plus 6. And that's my answer. Okay? Now, it's extremely important that you take a moment to write yourself a note about how to go about doing this. So, I'm going to pause for 30 seconds. I want you to write yourself a note about what you need to do better when you take the quiz tomorrow so you get this question right. Okay, 30 seconds. Number 15. Number 5. And stop. Okay. Now, what were the first 6 words of questions 1, 2, and 3? Write the equation of a line. Write the equation of a line. Write the equation of a line. Excellent. What are the first words of the next question? Question number 4. What's the slope? How many of you guys wrote an answer that looked like y equals mx plus b? You are writing the equation of a line. Does the question ask for the equation of a line? No. What does the equation ask for? Slope. So, what we need to do is we need to start getting out of the mindset of y equals mx plus b completely, or writing an answer in terms of y equals mx plus b, and instead adjusting it a little bit and thinking about this. Now, I do want to consider y equals mx plus b a little bit. And when I do that, I start thinking that 4 might be the slope. The problem with that is, does it say y equals? No, what does it say? 2y equals. So I can't find the slope yet. What's bad that's stopping me from finding the slope the way it looks now? Annabelle, you gotta pay attention to this because this is what you got wrong. What is it that's bad? The 2, right? You guys are saying it, but let's at least say it loud enough they can hear it on the videotape, right? Because the next class, well, the class before this, we didn't quite get through this question, so I want them to be able to watch the video tonight, okay? So what do I have to do to get rid of that 2 in front of the y? Everybody? Divide it, good. So I'm gonna divide everything by 2, and I get y equals 2x minus 4. Now, I look at Annabella's paper, and she had an almost perfect paper. She had the 4 there, which is wrong, obviously. Now I think you realize it should be 2. But if you notice on Annabella's paper, she made a classic mistake. She also put an X as part of her answer. I think a couple of other people did that as well. Look down on your paper. Did you put an X there? Yeah. The slope is always the number in front of the X. It's never the x2 or also. So what should the slope be, everybody? 2. So the only thing you want there is 2. Okay? Any questions on that? Write yourself a note. I'll give you 30 seconds. Write yourself a note about what you can do to clean up that one. Go ahead. Tart. Oh, it's so tart. It's good, but it's tart. Ah. Whoa. Big deal. Okay. Right, you might have made the mistake by including the x. You might have forgotten to divide by the 2. You might have written something that looked like the equation of a line. All 3 of those things are the wrong way to go about doing things. Okay. Now, let's go to today's lesson. Oh, I want this. Oh, there we go. Okay, solving the first one. I'm going to go fairly quickly through the do-it questions because we did them yesterday. This is very similar. Is the first one a same side or an opposite side situation? Same side. So I get my t's together. That's 2t minus 2 equals 14. Add the 2. 2t is 16. Divide by 2. T is 8. Oh, that's a 2 for the division there. T is equal to 8. How many people got that right? Good. Pretty much the whole class. I think every hand is. Nice. Next one. Danger, danger, danger. What's the danger on number 2? Everybody, what's the danger on number 2? The negative 10 squared. What is, the way it's written there, what is negative 10 squared? Is it 100 or is it negative 100? Negative 100. Only if it was in the parentheses would it be positive. So that's negative 100. What's anything to the 0 power? 1. And 0 to the 0 is not, but any other number but 0. What's negative 100 plus 1? Negative 99. Good. Number 16, is that a same side or opposite side situation? And just like yesterday, we learned it's good to start with the 7q plus 7q. 16 equals 8q plus 8. I'll minus the 8. 8 equals 8q. Divide by 8. 1 is q. Okay? Any questions on that, guys? Okay. Let's take a look at number 4 and number 5. Now, yesterday, we did these graphs of y equals and x equals. So before we graph number 4 and 5, or we go over numbers 4 and 5, what I want you to remember from yesterday, any line that's horizontal like this, perfectly horizontal, has a 0 slope, and it's always y equals a constant number. Horizontal slope. You guys know what the word horizontal means? Gabby, what's horizontal mean? Gabby, I want you to picture yourself on the beach. You have a muchacho you like, huh? Some cute guy. Let's pretend the guy's really nice to you and he takes you out on a date. Right, you go out to dinner and then you go to the beach and the sun's setting. It's a nice romantic evening, and he even brings a puppy,
What?
right? And oh yeah, that's the way to get to a girl's heart. All you gotta do is bring a puppy, and the girls are like, they may not pay
Unless
any
they're
attention to you.
allergic.
Oh, they may not pay any attention to you, but they will pay attention to the dog. Like, oh, my cute little puppy. You can take an ugly old man like me, and I could be walking down the street. Let's pretend I'm not married. If I'm married, I can't do this, but pretend I'm walking down the beach. If Kate Upton could be walking down the beach opposite me, if I've got a puppy dog, Kate Upton is going to stop and talk to me because I have a puppy dog. All right, that's just a fact. So Gabby's going down the beach, and she's got her boyfriend, and they're like hand in hand, and she's walking her cute little Yorkie, and they're all going up and down the beach. And as they go, they see the sun. The sun is setting on the what? Horizon. The sun here. Let me draw a pretty picture for you. Ready? This is you and your man holding hands with the little doggy. Ruff! Ruff! And here's the sun over here setting on that straight line over there. We call that the horizon. So when I see a horizontal line, this is horizontal right here. It's like the sun. Here you can see a little sun going down, setting on the horizon. All right? When you see that horizontal line, anytime you see a horizontal line, it's y equals. So if you want to say that, you could say to yourself, oh, a horizontal line. Why can't I have that man? Why can't I have that man? Y equals, okay? All right. Notice I didn't pick a guy to go, why can't I have that woman? So, all right, so there's a great example of horizontal. And any horizontal line is y equals. Now, any vertical line is x equals a constant. By a constant, we mean a number like 3, 4, 5, negative 99, negative 1, negative 2.5, negative 1.41321, anything you want, okay? So now let's go up to number 4. Gabby, do I have your attention or are you still on the beach? You sure you're not on the beach? Holding hands with a muchacho? Hey, you know who you need to stay away from? Those guys that go over to the church and to school. For years now, we've had a bunch of boys who go over to the school. They're like high school kids. They're like 16, 17. And they like to try to pick up the chiquitas at South Ocean. You know what I'm talking about now? You got to tell them, back! Satan. Go away from me. Their interests are not your interests. You need to stay away from them.
I've never seen that.
In the word, oh yeah, they're there. In the words of Steve Irwin, danger, danger. They're not supposed to be, but have you seen them over there?
I haven't seen them, and usually me and my friends stay after school till like 5.
Yeah, they'll be there. They're always right over by that little annex to the church over there. That little church area. They wait right after school there. And they'll be 16, 17-year-old guys, and they'll try to pick up the girls from here. And the problem is that what they're after is not a good thing. So you want to stay away from that. You desperately want to stay. I understand girls, guys, you didn't hear this from me. Girls, I understand sometimes the guys at South Ocean aren't everything you ever wanted.
That's true.
But the ones up there are far worse, okay? Far worse. So let the guys here, you got some classy, good-hearted guys here. Let them grow up a little bit. No, I didn't say they're all.
Most of them aren't.
No, you know what? And here's the deal. No, stop. You're sitting here and sitting there on judgment. That doesn't make you look very good either. I think it's really important to understand something. You gotta let the guys grow up here. You gotta say, did I have a good heart or a bad heart? Listen, when I was in 7th, 8th grade, I was more concerned with not looking bad in front of my friends than I was looking okay with girls. So I would be a little scared of girls when I was at this age. But as I got a little older, it was better. The problem is the older kids, they have bad intents in their hearts. A lot of them do. That's why if you came home with a 17-year-old boy, what do you think your dad would do?
Chase him down the street with a hammer.
How do you think your dad would handle the situation? Cheyenne, if you walked through the door and said, Dad, this is my boyfriend and he's 17 and he wants to drive me someplace, How exactly do you think your dad's handling that?
You, Chase.
Is he gonna beat the kid up?
Right.
Is he gonna take his gun out and start cleaning it in front of the kid?
You see
Yeah,
that?
absolutely, all right? Because he knows what that kid is. He knows this is a bad thing. So stay away from those guys. All right, we're taking a look at number 4 here. Ready? Let's erase all this
How
stuff
did we
off of
get
here.
to that?
You know why? Because if I don't say something and then some guy comes over there and starts picking you up and you start saying to yourself, "Oh, he's 17. My dream boat." And you don't understand that he is to be stayed away from and I could have warned you, I'd be mad at myself. Okay? Now, take a look at number 4. Which of these lines could be x equals 2? Hey, quiet. Look at it, number 4. Which of those lines could be x equals 2? Choice 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which of those could be the line x equals 2? Choice 1, 2, 3, or 4. No, 1 couldn't be because it's diagonal. That's a negative slope, right? 4 is a horizontal line. What did we say a horizontal line always was? Why, oh why does that boy not want me? So y equals, what's the right answer, guys? Choice 3. Who said 2? 2 is a positive slope. Choice 3, any vertical line, like in choice 3, is always x equals. And that's what they said there, x equals 2. Now, number 5, which of those could be the graph of y equals 4? Which of those could be y equals 4? Annabella?
4.
Choice 4, good, it's a horizontal line. Very good. Number 6, what's the slope in the y-intercept on number 6? It's all review stuff today. What's the slope in the y-intercept on number 6? Now, I gotta make it say y equals, so first I'm gonna subtract my 5x, and I get 2y equals negative 5x plus 8. What's that general equation of a line again, everybody? Talk to me.
Divided by 2.
Nah, come on, tell me the general equation of a line.
Y equals
Y equals what?
mx.
Mx plus b. Do I look like that yet? No! What's the bad thing? The bad thing? The 2y. So what do I gotta do? Divide by 2. And that gives me y equals negative 5 over 2x plus 4. Now I think we can answer the questions. What's the slope? Negative 5 over 2. What's the y-intercept? Positive 4. This is like the 4th question on your quiz. Okay? All right. Today we clean up that area of weakness. Let's talk a little bit about this. Now, we just did question numbers 4 and 5, and it was very much an area of weakness. So, on your paper, I want you to graph y equals negative 2. Do it. Y equals negative 2. Graph it. Okay, I hope everybody got this line here. Ready? Y equals negative 2. Help me out here. If you got that line for y equals negative 2, please raise your hand. Raise your hand. Was you just about everybody? Gabby, did you get that line?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now graph y equals 3. Go ahead, graph y equals 3. It says y equals, so is it going to be horizontal or vertical? Guys, show me, hey, stop what you're doing. Show me with your hands. Show me horizontal. Good. Show me vertical. Good. Okay, keep going. Graph y equals 3.
It looks like a rectangle.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, y equals 3 goes just like this.
I'm cold.
Now, what I'd like you to do at this point in time is turn to your neighbor. Turn to your neighbor. Tell them if those two lines are horizontal or vertical. Say the word horizontal or say the word vertical. Go ahead. Go. Look at your neighbor. Okay. Now, X equals 5 and X equals -5. Are those horizontal or vertical?
Vertical.
Turn to your neighbor. Vertical, very good. Okay. X equals 5. 2, 4, 5. Whoa, oh, that's a god-awful, ugly-looking line. All right? X equals 5. It looks like I was drunk when I did that. I swear to you, this is pomegranate juice. All right? I've actually never been drunk in my life, but that really, really, really looks bad. That's true. I've never been drunk. I have never, in my entire life, I have never smoked a cigarette. I have never been drunk. I have never done a drug in my entire life, and I never will.
Wow.
Yeah, I won't. My knees got operated on because someone got drunk and hit me, and then the doctor screwed up the surgery. So all of the work I had to have, all the surgery I've been through recently, it's all a result of that fateful day. My uncle was killed by a drunk driver. And my life really took a beating because of drunk drivers. So I have an addictive personality. Can you tell I get into teaching,
Yes.
right? I get into photography, I get into my dogs, I get into everything. I don't want to get into drinking.
My uncle died of taking too many drugs. His kidney failed, and then his son overdosed.
Yeah, and I think, see, that's the other
His
thing.
son was 19.
Yeah, I'm afraid of drugs. I'm
It was
afraid of what they
4
could do to you.
years
So I've never done a drug in my life either. So I've never smoked a cigarette, I've never done any drugs, I've never been drunk, I've never done any of those things. Because I just think they're really, really bad. All right, there's the line X equals -5. It's a vertical line shooting right up, okay? Any questions? All right, you're all gonna say the following. I'm gonna move my hand a certain way. You're all gonna say horizontal and vertical. Ready?
Horizontal.
Good.
Vertical.
Any questions? Very good. Okay, you can start your homework now. Begin. Comenzar. Oh, wait, I got this whole thing in Spanish figured out. Comenzar, trabajo, casa.
Huh?
They know. They know. That's close, right?
What are you saying?
Trabajo means work, casa means home. So, casa trabajo, home, work.